What a behemoth. You guys want to know why we at Scott Speed Shop choose to save cars like that 69 Chrysler 300 or that 64 Dodge Polara 500 or any of these other cars we got? That's because in this car world, there's a whole bunch of, a lot of people instantly view cars as, we can't fix that one because it's got this, that, or that wrong with it. And well, that's just not the way we view things here at Scott Speed Shop. We view things as, well, we have an opportunity to fix some things, and if we like the car, it's just an opportunity to improve. Just like anything else in this world, if there's something wrong with yourself, you can improve it just by working on it. And this 300 is a perfect example of that. So thank you guys for voting to save it. So enjoy this video series as we bring this thing back from the dead. Well, howdy there, Dad. How you doing on this fine Sunday?
Just another Sunday morning sidewalk.
Well, I'm not really sure where you're going with that, but today, we are finally getting back to work on the 300. Now, of course, for all these guys, you guys watching these videos, you know, this stuff is actually happening like video technically, but taking a little bit of a break. We went down to Sykeston, had fun at No Name Nationals and all that stuff. And we just moved the 73 Satellite, my high school car, which is still okay, still running. But right now our focus is getting this thing to where it's ready to fire up because Dad's got all the wiring kind of figured out. And this was a test mule 440 that we got from Steve at Rouseabout Rod and Cycle. He delivered this to us from Texas, and he donated it to the cause. And it was just going to be our test mule engine for testing carburetors until it found a home. And now it's in here. As you saw in the last episode, we stabbed it in here. It's all bolted up to the transmission. All that stuff's on there. We've got the correct HP manifolds. We've got carburetor we can throw on this thing. And our main goal right now is just to get this thing to where it'll run again in the car. And we got a radiator. If we want to get all that stuff to where it's going to be kosher, and if this thing still runs good, sounds good in the car, maybe we get it to motivate, go into gear, then we've got plans on all sorts of doodads and gadgets and gazmos that are going to make this engine look a lot better. More, what we'll say, Chrysler 300 worthy. Because even though this car may not be the prettiest car in our fleet, it's still a nice car, and it's, for the time period it was built in, it was a hell of a machine. So the engine that's in there, I think it should definitely accentuate that. What says you did?
I think you're right.
So you ready to get started on this and finally get this thing running again?
Well, I know it'll run. We just got to get the exhaust manifold buttoned up.
So let's go get all of our parts out and lay them out. Alrighty, so here's the last time we're going to see the 440 in this state, because we have a table full of goodies. We've got a remanufactured Street Demon, which we found a really good deal on those on eBay. That's just a tech tip for everybody out there. You know, look for the remans. You can get those things really cheap. So we've got another one of those just for test mule purposes. And then we'll get the real carburetor intake when this thing runs again good. And we have our HP manifolds. And that's a regular B-body style manifold. That's the correct one for the passenger side. This is a later model C-body one. It's got the fins and this heat shield, but I don't really care. At least I got the correct manifolds that'll tie back into the original exhaust. So carb, those, engine, enough stalling. Oh, and I gotta go dig out the radiator too, but that's later. Let's get everything attached to the engine first. we got the driver's side manifold bolted on and all glued on, so that's good. And I also got the passenger side on, and Dad's out back talking with one of his old high school buddies, Martin. And he's here visiting for their class reunion, which I thought was pretty neat. So it's always fun when Dad gets to hang out with people. So I'm just doing a bunch of the little piddly stuff while he's having fun, as he should be able to. So I got some bolts. We're gonna probably run, hang on. So normally the Street Demon carburetors come with a special plate and set of gaskets, but since our current intake setup is, well, still spread bore, that's gonna cover up a lot of that. So what I found is some of these actual like quadrajet spread bore gaskets, these big thick fiber ones. You don't ever like want to use this kind of stuff on a Holly because it'll break the casting legs off. But I think on the Demon it's gonna work fine because we need this inside bolt pattern here. And so that's gonna work out pretty good. So we're gonna get all this put on there, and won't be long before we can plumb these ugly plug wires again and just temporary fuel system here, this thing come to life. Maybe go ahead and get the radiator in there and get that all situated, and that's gonna be done. And then we can finally, and once this engine's back to where we know it's good, you guys have got a heck of a video coming on all the stuff we got planned to make this thing a whole lot better. Alrighty, so we are trying to get the tranny lines looped together for now until we get the radiator in, because we just want to hear this thing come to life one more time for us to help us motivate and get in gear. So carburetor's on, everything's kind of a little bit sketchy right there, but it's all temporary for now. Hopefully we get this old beast to fire up again and bake on that manifold paint and hopefully hear this thing run. Alright, here we go.
Yep, power on the coil.
Ready?
Yep.
Well, it's alive again.
You scared the spider out.
I did?
Now you just run down the alternator.
Oop. Sorry, Mr. Spider.
Got a little steam coming out of the heater hose.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
70 pounds of oil pressure.
That's fantastic. All the little janky stuff we kind of hooked up is working, so that's good. Engine still runs pretty good. It sounds a little slow on timing to me, just a little bit. It might also be the sound of the manifolds. I never listen to engines with open manifolds. It's never really a great sound.
And stock manifold.
Yeah. So we have that in our heads now. We know what this sounds like. So definitely going to probably hook up the exhaust this car has, regardless if it's good or bad, because it's going to probably sound better than Demo Derby right now. And so we're going to keep pedaling away, and we'll get this thing to where maybe get the cooling system hooked up and all that other nonsense, so that we can let this thing run and eventually maybe put this thing in gear and see what happens. But before that, brakes got to happen. So before we really start messing with these brakes, we got a floorboard we need to attend to, and well, honestly, we've already started on some of it, so We're just going to give you a little sneak peek of what Ann and I did as far as protecting the floorboard. Then we're going to be right back. All right, so what the viewers don't know is that also while we're doing the Polara 500 floorboards, we're actually dual recording this because we're going to use the Por 15 also on our 69 Chrysler 300 build, which we're doing simultaneously, more or less. Well, that's a back burner project, more or less, the Polara. And this is actually the active project, but I figured, you know what, while we got the Por 15 out to do the Polaras today, we might as well just go ahead and take care of it on the 300. So you guys will probably see this video clip more than once. Not gonna lie, because I'm probably gonna throw it in both the folders. And well, alrighty then. So we're back here on the 300, and Ann and I, we've got the floorboard sanded, kind of cleaned up as best we can. And yeah, she's a little toastier than we had originally intended, or really hope, really, but you know what? It's not that bad. It really isn't. A little bit of patchwork, it'll be fine, just like the badge bug, which is going to be a similar fixing process because this car, we don't need to focus too much on this one. We got cars like the Polara 500 there that got sheet metal repair and all that stuff. This is just a fun project for us to do just because we can. So now we're gonna get to work Por 15ing this and trying to save as much of this floor as we still can, because, well, we got about 90, I'd call it 80% floorboard, and we want to keep that 80% or 70%. You know, it's just gonna keep going down. And so, I mean, technically you may view it as wasting this Por 15, but that's what this product is for keeping rusty shit boxes from becoming even worse rusty shit boxes. So here's to it. No, we're not. I'm not showing you guys that. Alrighty, well, back on the old 300 here, and it's been a minute because we actually took a break from putting this thing together. And actually, well, I was planning on having all the Evil Energy stuff made for this and having the new intake and carburetor and valve covers we done. But, well, it's nearing the end of, well, we're start of November now because we started working on the Duster to try and get it finished up so we can get it out of there so we can put that guy in the shop over winter and work on it because it's got all the fresh floor pans. And well, we just wanted to go ahead and get a radiator hooked up to this. So yeah, I did that. Some people will like that, some people will hate that. I don't care. When you see this engine all duded up the way I got it planned, you'll dig it. So right now we're just getting that hooked up so we can get a radiator and cooling system back on this 440, so that way we can fire this thing up more often and run it. And plus, after that's done, you know, we get the brakes working for this thing, and then technically this thing can drive around and do its thing. And Evil Energy hooked us up with a tranny cooler and a whole bunch of stuff that we can make for this thing. But right now the goal is just to get her.
We'll get some antifreeze circulating.
Yeah, it's true, because it's going to start getting really cold really fast. And well, this one's pretty close to just being ready to have antifreeze, and then we'll move to the Duster and, well, hopefully knock these things out for you fellers and non-fellers. But the idea we actually came up with, and I know some people have seen the pictures and you love it or hate it, but the side pipes are probably actually going to be on this thing. Two reasons. One reason, it makes building the exhaust a whole hell of a lot easier. Reason two, I dig it. So the whole point is literally we're going to do these side pipes just like Dad's van and on Von Dookie. So we'll have a little stub off the flange right there, piece of stainless steel flex pipe probably running to the one tube that's actually active on those style of side pipes, because if you don't know, only one tube on these things is actually functional. Now on these older ones, you can actually see how these ones are the older style, they have what looks like freeze plugs in them that are welded in. You can grind those welds off, pop those out, and then if you cut this guy shorter, you actually have kind of a zoomy side pipe, and that's actually what we used to build Jezebel's first side pipes, was a pair of these. We bought like 2 pairs of just this part at a swap meet. Some guy had them for some reason, and that was her original set of zoomies. And then, well, I had to go and build actual real zoomies from actual real zoomies. And this is kind of the reason why I'm just gonna stick the side pipes on the van, or not the van, but on the 300, because when I start doing exhaust stuff, I get carried away and I make stuff overcomplicated. So we're gonna keep it simple. So Dad had to do some modifications to the radiator, but now it'll fit. And I just, for shits and grins, decided to pull the master cylinder's lid off, and I'm pretty sure this is the original rubber here. And funny enough, I poured a little bit of brake fluid in there because it still had fluid in there, and I pushed the pedal and it actually feels like it's kind of working. That would be a miracle. Alrighty, so now we're at the typical BS part where the fan's on, but the shroud don't quite line up with everything because, well, none of this stuff was ever really meant to be together, so we're gonna make new holes. Alright, so for all the viewers who don't really know the struggle that Dad has been going through right now, I want you to know that my job has primarily been to sit here and keep spinning the fan to make sure it's not gonna make contact, because, well, this fan shroud does not really fit, but Dad, being the engineer that he is, of great caveman skills,
Yeah.
he has found a way to make this thing fit, and I mean, it's quite clever. It's how we always fit them, but you know what? At least we got a dadgum fan shroud, so when this thing overheats, nobody can give us crap, because we put that on there and we got it to where the fan does not hit, and it really wants to hit down there, but it'll be fine.
It's clearance.
It's clearance now, it fits, and I'm pretty sure that was actually Dad's 68 fan shroud that was supposed to go in his Charger that never really fit right, so because he doesn't have one of these stock looking radiators, so it didn't fit. So now it's going on the 300 here, and I really wish I would have went ahead and changed the intake and stuff, but in the name of just getting this thing back together and kind of working, here we go. Ah, Anna just made it back home. She's still rocking the Vision wheels and my BF Goodrich tires that were originally for, well, that red car right there, but they're doing the old truck just fine, I'd say. Okay, anyways, back to the video at hand. Here is or radiator hose fitted, tightened up. Dad's working on the upper hose because he's got fancy tools, and well, I just have a little nut driver. So, alrighty, so progress is progress, and we totally didn't just clean those original hoses up with WD-40 and a Scotch-Brite. Don't mind that stuff in the left-hand corner of the screen. Don't look at that. But anyways, they cleaned up really nice, even though they're not the originals, and we totally did replace those, right, Dad?
Right.
So anyways, now we're working on getting the overflow so we can, we also got to get the temp sender out of there so we can burp the system and get the air out. So we're about to the point of coolant, and watch this thing spew out of a couple of holes maybe, and fire up again. All right, so we are at that moment where the key needs to be turned and see if this old girl's gonna fire up. You ready for camera duty, Dad?
I reckon.
All righty.
All right, take two. He's just a little thirsty.
like a demolition derby car. Once we get the side pipes hooked up, that'll be good, but alternator gauge is working. Just down. We don't have the factory oil pressure gauge hooked up or anything, but well, you can call that a successful. Wow, that's a bad. I was just about to say how successful this was, and car, what the hell? What are you doing? Apparently the turn signal was on. Car, come on now. That wasn't cool. All right, I guess take 3 now, technically.
Ballast resistor.
Yeah, it sounds like our ballast resistor crapped the bed, which is something I learned from my buddy Rob and my good buddy Brian. And yeah, so when your engine's running with the key, I'll turn to crank, if it just shuts off as soon as you let off the key, that's typically what the culprit is. So we'll be back momentarily. So the only real goal for today was really to get coolant in this 440 and get it circulating, get this thing running. And you saw it just start running, and then I was about to praise it, then it just shut off. And this is actually the same thing that happened to me when I was on a road trip with a buddy to go to a concert in my 73 Satellite in high school. Electronic ignition thing just completely died. We changed every piece of it, even the distributor, every piece of it. Never went back to life. The next morning after we had the car towed home, put a dual point distributor in there. It's the same dual point distributor I put in that day that has never let me down. This thing, it's not the ballast resistor. I think it's in the key switch, which is already kind of finicky as far as, you know, the quality of it. So we're working on that, and well, we just want to get freaking coolant circulate with whatever's in that engine, because we don't remember if it's coolant or water it's sitting in there. Alrighty, well, it's running again, and basically the whole issue was the bulkhead connector. You know, Dad traced the wires down there, everything looked good inside the car, and it comes down to the blue and white wire off the ignition switch, and everything's good there. So Dad tested power out there, and I don't know what you did, but it worked.
It's in a plug-in on the bulkhead connector. And being a C-body, you'd think you'd have all kinds of room. You know, my Charger, the thing's right there.
Yeah.
They stuffed it in right behind the wheel well of the front fender.
Can we just appreciate the sound this thing kind of has to it, even though it sounds like it's demo derby ready? That's gonna sound good coming through those side pipes. That was the right place to put that 440 for sure. Now we've got to hook up exhaust. Heck yeah, dude. Oh, another project kind of knocked off. Wait, should we test to see if the brakes actually work? All right, go Kimosabi.
You got your side pipe rigged up.
If I run over the side pipe, it's fine.
Try to teach them. Try to teach them. Yeah.
Oh, well, that ain't helping.
Well, it seems like you got your side pipe mocked up, and you got, oh, no brakes maybe. Sounds like a good idea to have the wheels called. is kind of a behemoth.
Alright, we should be able to test
Sounds like
it out.
he's ready to tow race cars. Well, you killed it.
I did.
Can
I
you-
put the key back in?
Got any brakes? Is it stopping? No shit. You want me to move this block?
Yeah. Get the block out.
Alright, pull up a little bit. You see how easy that door shuts? Oh, it's green on this side. No brakes? Well, we can always hope.
I'm ready. What else can I say? I don't know if it's spun both the tires.
It's fun this one over here.
Oh yeah, the build sheet is correct. This C-body's got a freaking sure grip, baby. Boop, boop, yep. Ah, the ugly side of the car. Don't mind the smoke, it might be the engine kind of venting itself out a little bit. And then, well, the header paint on there, that's the first time it's been heated up, so. But seem to be doing pretty good. We got great oil pressure. We never did hook up the water temp, I don't think. And we got 70 pounds oil pressure still.
We got cold water, so we don't
Hopefully the engine ain't getting warm. No, actually the engine's not that warm yet.
I read it. I let it come out. The temperature sender, I had to just let it bubble out. And I let it more than bubble out. I let it run out.
Yeah. So that'll be fine. Well, we'll check back in when this thing's not overheating. This is the funnest waiting game in the world, Dad. Waiting for a water temperature to come up. Woo! It's slowly starting to come up. Means the thermostat's opening up. It's good. Oh, yep, there it is. Alrighty. So, brakes or no brakes, she's moving. There you go, Dad. Make sure I don't die.
I like this side better.
The bucket be cool.
Back it on up.
Yeah, whoa, Nelly.
You gotta go around the circle.
Yeah. Backwards?
Watch the tree. No power steering yet. It's driving. It's driving. Looks like Anna's Erlene. It won't make the corner. Funny how my charger will. Let me get on the other side so you don't run into the satellite. You go that way a long way. What a behemoth. Oh, Nelly.
Manual steering on a C body, it's not that bad. And I really like Chrysler's new cushion. It's very ergonomic. And I mean, I can still see to drive, and I only got like 10% of my brake system, so.
You fit right in up there in the city.
Man, let me kill the car. Okay, here we go.
I say you fit right in up in the city.
Be careful what you say now.
No.
That thing drove right over the blocks. It didn't even care. That was fantastic. And of course, I've seen little videos of guys what it looks like, you know, from the inside of the car, how crazy it feels, and then you watch it from the third person perspective, and it's really not that great. So I am eager to watch this and see how that looks. But Dad, you know what? Our plan has actually been for the past couple weekends, minus all my health stuff we've been going through, was to get the duster done. And well, I'm actually happy we chose to get the 300 to where it's to this point now, because well, it cleans up this spot, and now we can focus 100% on getting duster done. So that way, like I said earlier, that guy can go live in there while I neglect to work on it during winter time, because I'll probably be out here freezing, making this thing better, and neglecting my satellite too, because that's just what I do.
Makes a pretty good workbench.
It makes a great workbench, and actually the best workbench is a 70 Chargers deck lid, as you have found.
Oh yeah, it works pretty good. Stuff don't roll off the back.
No, it's got that little lip.
Yeah.
I think that's just a good enough reason. Could you imagine? You could almost hold a swap meet on this hood. And then the trunk too, it's like, I'm having ideas now. You know, we're gonna definitely have to put a trailer hitch back on here, because we found the tow mirrors, which I don't know where these are gonna be included in the video, but this bad boy had legit tow mirrors mounted to the front fenders, and all the trailer braking system, and yeah. So that was awesome, getting to drive that 300 for the first time. Now, this is one of those times where it'd be great to go ahead and stay on this project and get it done. But winter's coming, and we got another one that needs to run, and this one needs to get inside. So priorities is priorities. So, as always, guys, gals, and everybody in between, I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for checking this out, for all your kind words, all the prayers, and everything. You guys are truly amazing, and, well, thank you, Dad.
Yep, we got her.
Dad is the #1 driving force. He won't let me sit down and relax. And whether or not he's doing it intentionally, or the genes that he gave me when he created me with my mother, there's a gene in there that says, you can't sit down and relax, Jed. You have stuff to do. So, thank you, Dad.
Yep.
It's always good when we get stuff accomplished, and I want to thank you guys one last time. As always, look forward to seeing you in the next one. As always, take care, and
Bye-bye.
oh yeah, and before bye-bye, actually, don't forget, Evil Energy is helping us out. We got discount codes for them. We got Sterling Kit actually getting ready to release another steam engine kit, and I'll be doing a review on that. So I'm going to put all that information down there. So if you guys want some AN fuel lines and stuff like that from Evil Energy, go use our discount code, go save some money, build your hot rod. Same thing with Sterling Kit. If you need a great gift for Christmas, it's coming up. Like Dad's birthday is in December, so he gets Christmas once and his birthday once. So great opportunity to get gifts. So go check out all those information, and we'll catch you later.